Cool, so my name's Shelley King. I'm in my final semester of my Masters in Arts and Cultural Management at Melbourne Uni. I specialise in cinema. I'm also doing a year-long marketing internship at Art Centre Melbourne in their marketing department, and have previously worked as an account executive at the advertising agency George Patterson Y&R. Some of the challenges, I guess dealing with people, learning what it's like being in a team environment and how an agency functions. So I'll start talking about social media. I've always had my Facebook on private. That was a personal thing because I know employers will look you up straight away. In terms of, I've sort of changed my views in terms of Instagram. So originally I did have it on private, and I've changed that in the last few months because I found what I was blogging about was arts and cultural events, and it shows that I'm very passionate about the industry if I do decide to continue doing marketing for the arts. So I found that what I was blogging about was showing a passion for the industry.
Yeah, exactly, which is what they're looking for.
Exactly, and I think when you're looking for like a marketing role, like if I end up in a social media role, they want to know that you know how to use the medium as well, like how are you using your hashtags, how are you writing, things like that.
Yeah.
Also, LinkedIn's really important. That's something I didn't have when I first got a job in advertising.
It's definitely something that not a lot of young people, I guess, have today. Like it's definitely growing.
Yeah.
But how did your presence sort of start on there?
So during my internship in advertising, I created an account and started to add everyone in the agency. And a few people, like I hadn't met them in person, and they came up to me and was like, hey, like I know you're the intern working in this department, like how are you going? And that's really how I developed a lot of relationships and started my networking, and it's really important to do that while you're still in the organisation. 100 connections now.
Wow.
So I'm quite active on that account.
That's awesome.
Finding my first job in advertising was a bit of a different experience in comparison to other people. So it started off as an internship as part of my undergrad course, and prior to that I had no connections in the media industry or communication industry at all. I did up my resume and cover letter and sent it to over 40 advertising and PR agencies in Melbourne. So it was quite a lengthy process, but I think I was very persistent about it and kept following up. I mean, paper's one thing, but seeing someone face to face is really important.
So you'd say like the most important step, if anything, in terms of securing that job is how you present yourself in that face-to-face interview.
Yeah, but I also think it is what's on your resume, because that's the way that they consider you in the first place. Because some of the agencies that I did get my interview eventually, they said that they get over 50 resumes a day. My resume at the time was only 1 page long. It had a lot of leadership experience on there. I didn't have any other industry experience.
Yep.
So I found that it was better to show rather than tell. I don't believe in saying I'm a really hard-working person, I'm very organised, I have good time management skills. I think an employer is looking for someone that can prove that they have those skills. Yeah, so I think in terms of the different areas in the communication industry, I initially, when I was studying my undergrad, thought of them as quite separate. So I did work experience at Channel 10, then work experience at a PR agency, and then I did an internship at a marketing agency who provided both event services and PR services.
Yep.
And that's when I realised that PR is a component of marketing, and whilst it can be seen as separate, it's increasingly integrated. Even interning at the Arts Centre at the moment, we have our own publicity department. So, and at the same time, the publicity team is trying to pitch ideas to journalists to write about it, and then you've got campaign managers working on shows and paid advertising. So it's completely integrated.
It's really interesting because a lot of the time at uni, particularly in my own degree, we were told PR is completely separate, not to confuse it, it's a totally different realm, but really like what we learn when we're experiencing it is because these borders are coming down, you need to know what's going on, what advertisers are doing if you're in PR, and you need to know what, vice versa, because they are linked really.
Yeah.
And like the work you might be doing in advertising, you might have to talk to PR people or
exactly.
co-direct things.
Because when you're marketing a product or a performance or anything, you're engaging with both paid advertising that's planned and also like trying to get free editorial coverage at the same time to get that credibility. Because whilst sometimes PR can be a bit unplanned in the sense that you don't know if your story's gonna make it in comparison to paid ads, but it is really credible getting a really good journalist to speak about your product or your service. So I think they're definitely being used together. Yeah.